Yeah. Wrestling Queens, step in the Cypher. Yeah. Trap beat bang, set the whole thing on fire. Yeah. 808 knock, yeah, we talk that pain. If you ain't really built for it, then stay in your lane. Yeah. Queens on the mic, pressure too strong. Dirty South trap with the rope still long. Bass hit heavy like a body slam. Opinions crack tables, yeah, we not fans. Real talk only, no storyline lies. Every scar real, look deep in our eyes. From late night cars to the main event, we break down moments that the world never forget. No soft takes, it's that fight night tone. Trap music talk, yeah, we right at home. Who run the ring? Queens. Who talk that truth? Queens. Who love the sport? Queens. Say it loud. Queens. Yeah. Who run the ring? Queens. Yeah. Who talk that truth? Queens. Yeah. Who love the sport? Queens. Yeah. Say it loud. Queens. Yeah. 808 slide like a finisher hit. Every bar land, yeah, we mean that shit. Call out weak runs, praise the greats. Legends get respect, rookies earn their place. Trap drums punch with a championship sound. Every episode pressure, no backing down. From bell to bell, we dissect the game. Queens talk wrestling, remember the name. Yeah, Wrestling Queens, yeah, we dominate. Trap house heat with a heavyweight debate. Bass still knock, pride still proof. Queens run the ring, now salute, yeah. Bell ring, yeah, yeah. Bell ring, trap fade out. Welcome to the Cypher. Yeah, who run the ring? Queens. Who talk that truth?
Hey everybody, welcome back. We are the Wrestling Queens Cypher. I'm Ladybug and I'm joined with JayCrew. And today's going to be a little bit different. We want to get into the Queen Spotlight, where we basically just reintroduce you to everybody in the Wrestling Queens Cypher. So today is all about JayCrew. We want to get you to understand who she is and what's special about her today. So basically, let's go ahead and start. So outside of wrestling, Jay, how would you describe yourself in 3 words?
Oh dear. Animated. See, they say not to overthink when talking about yourself, but animated, caffeine driven, I can't think of another one.
Can I add one?
Sure.
I would say authentic.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I would. I feel like that's what makes you special. I mean, I feel like everybody on this podcast is real, but I like the fact you're unique, and I feel like that's, everybody is different, but I like what you bring as far as your authenticity. So, I mean, I would add that. But yeah, as far as your content and just in general, what do you feel like people misunderstand about you the most?
What people misunderstand about me, in my opinion, is that sometimes I will rush into an opinion without sometimes taking the time to step back and rethink and reevaluate myself, which is why sometimes I'll post multiple videos about the same topic, because on one hand I can be like, hey, I think this, that, and the third about, so-and-so, and I think this should happen because this, that, and the third. Maybe a couple hours later, maybe 10, 20 minutes later, because I'm a very active poster, if y'all don't know. If you refresh my page, you will see at least 3 videos popping up every 20 minutes. I'll have another video, already popping out, whether it be an apology, a more in-depth analysis, or a response, because I have made certain videos regarding that. So sometimes people misunderstand that I'm still learning and growing as a wrestling fan, because like I said, I ain't too new to this, but I'm still true to this. So I sometimes go forward a little too much when I need to take a step back. So that's something I will admit about myself.
I would disagree, because I feel like that's kind of what brings back to the authenticity thing. What I say about you is you're not afraid to take accountability. When you learn about something, you'll make another video and say, hey, I did more research. This is what I learned. And you'll expand on that. A lot of creators don't do that. A lot of people don't, regardless of age, they don't do that. So they can really take notes from that. And that's what a lot of people I feel like do like about your content because your engagement and your willingness to take accountability. But moving on, this is a big question, no pressure. What made you want what made you want to be a part of the Wrestling Queen Cypher?
Actually, I think you reached out to me first.
I did.
But so for context, how I got into the Wrestling Queens Cypher was last year, and I was in my dorm room. Not this one, but I was in my other dorm room in the other building. And I made a video regarding Roman. And I believe it was during WrestleMania weekend when that bullshit came out. So I talked about it, I expanded about it, I talked about like my thoughts about like the company, and then I made, a little skit about it, which that was my first ever skit, by the way. That was my first ever like actual like skit. And then you reached out to me, we started talking. I started looking through your content. I popped in your lives every now and then. I'll share like my opinions about this, but at first I kind of felt a little like scared in a way because if a lot of people don't know, I am the youngest person of the Cypher. Yes. At 19, about to turn 20 in 5 days. So I'm the youngest person on the Cypher. So I was a little like hesitant and distant at first because it's like I'm young with all these other people who are like older than me. But that's why I didn't go into detail. I just said older than me. That's all I said. But then once I just started like popping in more frequently and just getting like a feel of it, I joined a TikTok live episode of it. And then in my mind, I'm like, you know what? Yeah, I can get behind this. So then either you asked me if I wanted to be a part of the Cypher. And then I'm like, you know what? Sure. Why the hell not? Because like it made me think that in a way I kind of have like a little insecurity problem of like I always have a thought in my mind of like how are people going to perceive me or how can I make people take me seriously, because while I don't seem serious in some of my content, there is also levels of seriousness to the shit that I talk about. So in my mind is like, how can I make people take me more serious as a young black female wrestling fan in the wrestling community. So yeah.
It's hard. I feel like even me being in my mid-30s, like that line between just wanting to make fun content and want to be taken seriously, like it sucks sometimes. Because like you don't even be perceived as like too goofy, but then it's like, well, I know what the fuck I'm talking about. Like, don't get it twisted.
But then you can't be too serious because then people are just gonna start saying, "Oh, you're one of those people."
Right. I mean, I'm getting to the point where I don't care, but then it's like I don't want our space to become uncomfortable. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's where it becomes tricky. But I get what you're saying. And I feel like that was kind of part of it too in the beginning, because I remember I saw the skit that you made. And I thought, number one, I thought it was hilarious because I need it.
I remember all the comments that was like, your Triple H impression is so good. And then like half the comments was just them quoting me saying, fuck them fans.
Yeah. Them comments were personal.
Yeah. I don't like, yeah.
Last year was crazy. Like I took a whole week from making content. The week I probably should have been making content the most, WrestleMania week, and I just went silent.
WrestleMania week threw me for a loop, especially as someone who was like returning back to the wrestling scene and like seeing all that shit unfolding. I was like, I don't think that's what you should be dedicating WrestleMania week to posting about, as the head of fucking creative of the damn company. But to each their own, if that's how the saying goes.
Yeah. So what I have next for you is basically a rapid fire. So without thinking, just pick one or the other. There's no pressure, no wrong answer. I'm not gonna chew you up. I mean, I never would, but yeah. So,
Okay.
I mean,
Okay.
it's not a game. I promise. Like, it's not that kind of game. But
Okay.
I got you. So first one, bloodline or elite?
Bloodline.
It's rapid fire, Jay. But okay. CM Punk or Cody Rhodes?
CM Punk.
Okay. Roman Reigns or MJF?
Roman.
Jimmy Uso or Jay Uso?
Is both not an option? Is both an option? Fuck.
You're gonna hate the name, by the way.
Oh fuck. Give me Jay.
Okay, don't cuss me out with this one. Drew McIntyre or Randy Orton?
Drew.
Really? What the hell? Did something happen I don't know? we can talk about it later. I'm confused there. But okay. All right. Well, I kind of have to go to the other one. Drew McIntyre or LA Knight?
This one's really. Ooh, see, I thought, see, I knew it was coming, but oh fuck. LA Knight.
Okay. Now, as far as the podcast, I mean, if you've been watching us for a while, you know Jay has been here since the beginning. She just mentioned the TikTok live because we started on TikTok before we switched over to our StreamYard format. But as far as the podcast, what do you think you bring as far as like the unique aspect? I mean, I can answer this, but I kind of want your perspective too. Like, what do you feel like as far as like the ingredient or, any answer is fine, but what do you feel like you bring to the podcast?
I say this every time whenever I make a video about something or if I'm talking to my friends about things. I love how my brain works. Mm-hmm. I love how my brain works in terms of how I can see superstars. Not them as real people, but like how I see them as superstars. And I love coming up with like what if scenarios or wanting to go more like more into like the backstory of them. And basically I just love my brain in general because, and I'm bringing this up from yesterday. So yesterday before I went to Invited Dress Rehearsal, I made a skit about the Shield. But every time before I make a skit, I always say, I want y'all to listen to this dumb idea I had. And I'll explain it a little bit, but then I'll go into detail about it. But some way, somehow, every time I do that, I get a hell of a lot of positive reactions. And I think my favorite one was definitely the Shield one, and then the one I made about like how AEW interviews would go. But like I said, to keep it short, I love how my brain works because it's like I'm an idea haver and maker. It's just sometimes I have a problem with executing it, if that makes sense.
That makes sense. Yeah. It makes perfect sense. As far as like your time on the show, because we are approaching the year in a little bit, and we're definitely headed to 100 episodes. What is your favorite take or debate that you've had on the show?
Oh, Jesus. Favorite takes or debates?
It's been a lot.
It has been a lot.
Yeah.
I can't really get too descriptive about it, unfortunately, because my brain does not work like that. I mainly love whenever we go into like certain conversations and questions about like how would you think it would work out if like this happened, or if you wanted to see like how a certain storyline would go out, like how would this work, or talking about like like is there like a certain story within like a certain faction that really like made you feel some type of way wrestling. I basically like questions that makes us think and wonder, like makes us go into our personal perspectives about like how certain things of wrestling go. If that makes sense.
Well, I'll tell you one that stood out to me. I don't
Okay.
know if you remember this. It was you, me, and I believe it was Leah. We had an episode last year about around SummerSlam.
Okay.
And we were talking about Roman being a jobber. You remember
All
that?
right.
I feel
Yes,
like
I
before.
called him tribal bitch.
Yeah. And we were talking about like how he was being booked, and I feel like that was a really good conversation. If you haven't seen it, I definitely encourage you to go watch it. But that was a really heavy and productive conversation. I think that was like one of our best, because that was a tough conversation for me. Because like I'm a heavy Roman fan.
She's a D1 Roman fan, child. Like
But for
she
real,
even
because
called, like she even called us our own. She even called us the bloodline and shit. And then she said, I'm the solo of the group since I'm the
I
baby
did,
of the group."
I did, I did. That makes sense. Makes perfect sense. Yeah. But and I'm gonna go into it a little further. Like as far as the podcast, could you mention like our perspectives and stuff? Has it changed how you watch wrestling? And if so, how?
In a way, yeah,
Okay.
because like going into it, when I would watch it, basically before I met y'all, I would watch it just to watch it, get a feel of things. I'd be like, oh my God, it's so and so. Like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And then the whole elimination chamber shit rolled around, and then the whole rest of me. I think what really did it for me was a combination of that WrestleMania weekend and meeting you, because it really put into perspective about like a lot of things. But being with y'all for a year, now when I watch it, like now when I make content, I go into the mindset of thinking, why is he being booked like this? Like, can we give him any other fucking match, please? I
Yeah, I
feel like
feel
you know who I'm talking about. Like, can we give him any other fucking match? Like,
yeah, yeah,
it's it definitely changed my and that's not to say I still don't be watching just because my fine shit's gonna be on there. Just like tonight, I can't watch SmackDown because I have to go run a show tonight, and I'm finding out that fucking LA Knight is gonna be on the SmackDown.
they need to send him back to SmackDown, but that's another story. Yeah,
Literally just had that conversation. Like what?
yeah.
Like
I will say this because I don't think people realize we really don't agree on a lot. Like, not just like I feel like if you truly watch, you should know like between six people, it is not always the same the same
definitely,
opinion. Yeah, but
definitely not.
it's how it comes together, and it makes you really like open your mind and think. And I think that's the best part of a conversation is like not being so limited when you think, and then when you go back and watch something, it's like okay, well, Jay put it like this, and well, Mimi did point this out. Well,
Mm-hmm.
Phil did mention this, but yeah, so I get it. I feel like it kind of changed my mind too about a lot, especially LA Knight, because y'all know how I felt about him last year. But
Man, the way I fucking jumped for joy seeing him at the Rumble and at Raw, it made me nearly forget I have quiet hours here.
yeah,
And yeah, I did not want to get a noise complaint.
right. Now, as far as like the type of wrestling fan you are, do you feel like you're more of a storyline lover, a match quality critic, a chaos agent, or a loyalist? And there's no wrong answer. So I'm gonna ask again. Do you feel like you're a storyline lover, a match quality critic, a chaos agent, or a loyalist?
What is a chaos agent?
I don't know. Like for me, as far as like a chaos agent, I love a good swerve. That's my interpolation of it. Like I love interferences, um, backstage attacks, and anything like that. Anything that is a disruptor. I feel like,
Mm,
yeah.
okay. I say mainly for me, I'm definitely more of a storyline driven, like, I feel like I'm a mix of all of them, but
Mhm,
when it comes to me more, you definitely hear me talking more about like storyline wise and like how certain things came out the way that they be. But at the same time, I will talk shit about a match if it's like dog water, or I will talk about a match if it was like in the highest quality. You don't really hear me talking about like interferences and stuff a lot, especially when it's been more of a common occurrence, because now it's just like, okay, well, why are we doing this?
mhm,
Like, chaos is supposed to be unpredictable. We shouldn't be able to predict a whole fucking like masked man coming out.
mhm.
However, I will say thank you to the one masked dude who stomped the fuck out of Logan Paul Monday night. Hallelujah.
Yeah, yeah,
But I feel like if I had to do a pie chart, I'm definitely more storyline driven.
yeah. Because that's kind of what brings everything together. So I get that. I get that. Now, as far as like wrestlers, I know we kind of mentioned LA Knight. We mentioned Drew. Which current wrestler do you feel like represents your or reflects your personality the most?
Javon.
Oh, okay. Do you want to like expand on that?
I think I depending on how far I can go without like triggering certain people, but definitely everything that's been happening with him like this week and the stuff that's been talked about Javon and how everything is with him in general. I relate a lot like that to him in a way because he's authentic. I be authentic. People tell him to stop being authentic. People tell me to stop being authentic. People don't like him because they don't like him. Some people are like that with me. That's fine. That's okay.
Hmm.
And I think it also comes from like a place of like, sometimes with age. A lot of people don't talk about this. I feel like they do. Sometimes they don't. But people got to realize a lot of wrestling fans, especially wrestling fans who are kind of getting up there in age, they don't necessarily take the younger fans seriously, or they don't really listen to the younger fans because it comes from their mindset of, oh, well, they don't know what they're talking about, or oh, they're doing this for attention, or just like if you're a new fan, just say that, or like this, that, and the third. Why are you complaining so much? Just shut up and enjoy the product, and blah 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 blah. Perfect example, my Royal Rumble video. Um,
Yeah, that was wild, by the way. How you? Jesus.
yeah.
I thought that was a great video, by the way. The concept was really good to me, but I feel like when it comes, and that's a good point. When it comes to you, and when it comes like Divine, it's a pattern, and we know what it is. It's a pattern, and I hate that it's happening, but it's not gonna go away. All I'm gonna say is like, don't let people take away who you are, and just keep doing what you want to do.
I'm
Keep doing.
trying. I'm trying not to make it so deep and sad, and I'm like,
I get it.
it always happens.
Yeah, I get it. But when you let it get to you, you're letting them win. So
Yeah.
yeah, mm-mm, we're not gonna do that. Yeah, but
You know what, Ladybug?
hmm
Now I got a question for you.
oh god. Okay.
So, like I said, you've known me for a good year and some change and stuff like that.
Hmm.
Out of my videos, what is your personal favorite? And if you don't, and if you got a couple of them, we'll do a top 3, top 5. So
Okay. Well, I feel like you should know my top one, and that's the Roman skit you did. Where you basically did him with the interview. That was hilarious.
I copied the mannerisms down to a T, to the point where now I copied his mannerisms, because now sometimes I'll do like this shit that he does when he's like looking at Steve and shit, or like doing the fucking
Yeah. I mean, and I will say, like, I'm gonna bring it. So I like that. I like the Randy Orton, Baby Old Chronicles. I don't know if I can say that.
the 09 OOC.
Yeah. And then I believe season 2 is underway, right?
It is, but it's also not, because like I've kind of gotten to that point where there was a thing in my mind where it was like, I feel like I should discontinue this because I haven't been paying attention to it and I can't find material for it. But at the same time, it's like, because I did a poll about it. I forgot to look at the results, but apparently people want me to still keep going with this.
Yes, they do. They do, because it was fun to watch. I mean, that's one of the first things I like started watching with your stuff too. So, yeah.
So now I'm gonna definitely have to find some more material for that, because it kind of went from, so the way it started was because, you know, Randy, WrestleMania, Kevin Owens, that type thing. So then people was in my comment section. Someone in my comment section said, someone better go ahead and call that person who be doing Randy's like body oil and stuff. And I was like, wait a minute, I can get something going with this. So I reacted to that comment. Then I had more comments. Then I reacted to those comments. Then I was like, I could start a series with this. So then it went from me reacting to comments to doing a full-blown season worth analysis about 09 Randy Orton, to a little bit of earlier Randy Orton, to current Randy Orton. It kind of flip-flops. So it went from being the 09 Orton Oil Chronicles to just the Orton Oil Chronicles. And yeah, I'm now trying to find some more content related to it, because the last episode I left off on was talking about the legacy.
I would say, like, we'll get into it afterwards. But yeah. I mean, I want to say, like, a third one. I'm gonna just kind of say the series, like how because you kind of woke me up to it when you started diving into AEW.
Okay.
And then the video you made specifically about the Dark Warrior, the first one.
Yes.
Not the one when you went back, but the very first one, because I like the fact you stood on business. Now, I understood why you went back, because them comments were crazy. But I've always admired how you unapologetically put your opinion out there, because like I said, a lot of people will put things out there, they'll put takes out there, but I feel like a lot of it is forced. And they won't admit, hey, I'm just getting into something, this is my journey into something. They won't say that. They'll act like, oh, I've been watching this the entire time, you know, I know everything I'm talking about. But the great thing about Jay, she'll let you know when she's just getting into something. She'll let you know when she learned about something. And I feel like that's the best part of watching her content, because you're watching her in real time react to a storyline, in real time become a fan of something. So that's what I like watching your content. So I feel like that's the AEW stuff is pretty much what I've gotten into the most. Now I like the sound bites and stuff. I pretty much watch everything. But I feel like those would be my top 3.
Did you say the sound bites?
Yeah. Oh, what do you call it? Yes, the sound bite. Don't do that.
I'm actually confused. Like, what's sound bite?
Okay. So like, what do you call it? So basically, like when you do like the voiceover, or like you have the sound.
like the little.
Thanks, Jay. Yeah, you know what I mean.
Voiceover thing? No,
yeah.
But, oh my god, no! Because you just brought that back. No, I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing with you, because what really got me into that was during the summer
Okay.
at my house when I started doing voice, like when I started like really getting back into like really making like daily content and stuff like that.
Okay.
And I want people to notice, whether you assume this or didn't assume this, when I make my videos, I do not have a script. And I feel like people can either tell that right away or it takes them a minute. But when I hit record, whatever comes out my mouth, whether you like it or not. Okay. Which is why I usually have a lot of captions on my stuff. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But I have a lot of captions on because when I get really too like deep into a thought or a fact, I have a tendency to talk too fast. So I want people to still understand what I'm saying. But in terms of the voiceover thing, I actually learned that I forgot which video it was, but it was definitely during one of my summer videos. And I can't necessarily remember if it was because of the voice, if it was because of the impression videos I was doing, because I got a couple of requests to do like some wrestler impressions that I really enjoy and stuff. And I think that's what did it. But what also started that was because, and if I circle back, y'all notice how I circle back a lot, and I apologize for that. But what maybe started it was when I was watching a Shield video with one of my friends on the phone, and we started talking about one of Seth's outfits, like his suit, and it was kind of giving like preacher or doing a eulogy type thing. Mm-hmm. So then I was like, wait a minute. He's wearing a preacher suit. He's giving a eulogy. He's also known as the Monday Night Messiah. We'll make a church skit.
And they ended up being your custom character, right?
Wasn't
that the one that ended up being your custom character? Or you based your custom character off of him?
In the game, no.
Okay. Then who would you base it off of?
In 24, the entrance suit, yes, I did make it based off of like I think one of Seth's outfits. But since I have 25, I had to change it up, so I made it more like me centered. But so once I had the idea of like Seth and all that, and then I was like, okay, he's wearing a suit, he's giving a eulogy, he's kind of giving preacher and stuff. He's also known as the Monday Night Messiah. I'm like, bro, hear me out. What if I made a video of Seth leading a church sermon?
Yeah.
And you see how that went.
Yeah.
Then that next.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Then that next episode, I was already trying to plan out a next episode because I wanted Seth to come back. I loved watching it. I love going back and watching it. I love hearing the voiceovers. I love doing the voiceovers because sometimes I'd be trying not to laugh while doing the voiceovers. So then I was like, how can I make this better? How can I already get the next idea going? So then, I started watching more, like, I love watching, like, clips of, like, my favorite superstars, like, matches, the little playlist things they got, stuff like that. I come across LA Knight. And this was back when, like, I kind of liked LA Knight, but not to the degree of where I like him now, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I was watching, some LA Knight videos, and then the promo. This was, I believe, either after I made his impression video or before, but I came across his promo where he had the U.S. belt again, and then he was like, Logan Paul can call me anything after anything, but the fact that I am a champ and at long last I have arrived. I was like, this is the one. And then episode 2 came out. Sorry, I went on a full tangent. I'm so sorry.
Oh, you're good. You're good. No, you're fine. But you're right. That was a good promo. Yeah. As far as like, because you mentioned making content, I feel like, unfortunately, out of everybody in the pod, you probably do get the worst of the comments, and I think that's because you make the most content. I feel
Yeah,
like, and
I
you
have a
make some
problem.
no, you make some really good original content. And like I said, people don't want to see people be great. But anyways, what helped you? What has helped you push past the negative comments for those who are wanting to make content out there, or those who are having trouble pushing their
I think it comes with a sense of cause see, I'm still trying I'm one of those people who can give advice but can't take their own advice.
content?
So sometimes like I tell people, I mean, sometimes you just gotta brush it off and keep it pushing. But like I said, and this is probably one of the reasons why I make content too much and I post too much is because um I made a whole video dedicated to just me talking about like the Royal Rumble video and stuff, and how I was said I have a problem when it comes to like getting comments and stuff. Like I love engaging with I love engaging with my followers, with people who comment on my stuff and everything. Like it makes me, cause I'm trying, like, cause I also kind of have a bit of an ego problem, so I really don't want to like put myself on this thing where it's I can get all these comments and stuff, like whether they be good or bad, but I'm not responding to them. I I don't know. I just love responding to comments. But at the same time, that comes with a price because now I'm sitting here and replying to like all these negative, weird comments and stuff. And when like it's a constant thing, because like I said in the video, I'm fine with like replying the comments and stuff, getting new comments, replying to stuff like that. But when you're sitting here and commenting on my shit at 1 a.m. in the morning, I'm not like, I'm not.
That's weird.
It is weird because I'm putting my own sleep at risk because I'm the kid. I'm nickname wise, when it comes to the cipher, I'm the campus queen because I'm currently a college student.
Yeah.
So I have to sometimes put myself first, and I kind of have a problem doing that both in real life and social media content wise. So I just devoted from the whole question. But
You're fine.
when you get negative comments, sometimes what I like to do is state to myself, well, one, I look at the analytics. I'm a very research oriented person. I looked at the analytics. 100% of the people who commented on my shit, which I still find kind of weird because I did have some mutuals and stuff comment on there, but the majority of the people who commented on my shit weren't even following me. So that right there told me that's how you know that you don't know what the fuck I'm talking about because you haven't been sitting through my profile and going through this journey as to why I said what the fuck I did. So
did they have pictures at least? Because I feel like a lot of the times they don't. When they start, they start getting out of pocket. Like their pictures will either be like an anime picture, like it won't be a picture of them.
It is pictures, but to be fair, I won't really looking at profile wise. I was looking at the analytics, but some had pictures. I think the majority of them had pictures. I could go back and go back to it, but I don't feel like it.
See, you're nicer than me. I just feel like that because I definitely roast people. But that kind of brings me to another question I have for you. Like, do you think women, especially black women, do you feel like we're judged differently for our content for our wrestling tapes?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because whenever I feel as though whenever I talk about wrestlers, especially the men wrestlers, I kind of go in a little I kind of go a little bit too much into it sometimes.
I don't think so, but go ahead.
But and I think a lot of people don't take a lot of women like wrestling content creators seriously because their comments just boil down to, oh, you're just saying that because you're talking about how good they look and stuff. Okay, so let's talk about how many comments you say about Rhea Ripley then.
The two things can be true at the same time, like Mimi always says. So,
right. And I'm not, because like I said, I'm calling myself out here. I do that.
That's it. Well, I was in your comments, remember, because that one dude pissed me off. Yeah.
For context, I have a video when was this before War Games?
I think it's either before or right around. Yeah.
So the whole masked man shenanigans shit was happening, and oh my god, it was War Games because he climbed the fucking cage. So so there was a whole thing going around about who that masked man was during, like, a little bit before War Games, this, that, and the third. People's over here making lists, theories, and stuff like that. I said that's Austin Theory because look at that ass.
That's right. Yeah.
That's all I said. And what made it so bad, the fact that it was Austin.
I mean, she was right.
because and I felt bad because and I was like, it's Austin because of the ass. I was like, no other person on the men's roster got an ass like that and can move like that. Mm-hmm. And people was over here talking about it's Randy, or it was Becky Lynch. Like, people was actually saying it was Becky Lynch and Sami Zayn, which okay.
Wow, yeah.
And then I was like, but the top person they had was Randy. So then I kind of went more into it because,
You wouldn't know. Yeah.
So I was like, y'all, if y'all thought it was Randy, why do the thighs look like that? Right? Because Randy has some big ass thighs. Like, yeah. I was stating facts. Randy has big ass thighs. Austin has a fat ass. Like, and I mean that with the utmost respect in the world. Like, I know that, it's like, I'm like,
yeah. I mean,
I meant that. Go ahead.
It is what it is. It is what it is. I mean, some people are bigger. Yeah.
But hey, I was right at the end of the day, so.
You were. Yeah. I forgot what exactly that dude said, but yeah, it triggered me. I try not to read those comments. Huh?
It's still on there.
I'm sure it is. And I still respond. I think I responded a couple times. But anyway.
You did. You said you mostly knew you.
Yeah. Yeah. But anyways, so I will say this, like, Jay's perspective has been so unique. Like I said before, like, and I'm gonna keep saying this, the IWC could really learn from Jay. I feel like each person on this podcast does bring something very different and very needed in the IWC. And what Jay brings is accountability. Believe it or not, as young as Jay is, she is our campus queen. She is, I hate to say the baby, but you are the youngest of the podcast. But I feel like as far as the IWC, you are one of the most humble and honest people on here. And you do hold yourself accountable. You're willing to learn. You're willing to say, hey, what can I learn from this? Hey, what happened here? And you're willing to be honest about what you enjoy, what you don't enjoy, but in a way that's not toxic. God, I don't want to sound like Kit Wilson. But yeah, I hate that word right now. But yeah, I do not like that, man.
Crying.
Yeah. But as far as like everything you've done so far, like, what impact or what kind of impact do you hope your journey has on other young women who want to create content?
Don't be afraid to be yourself, chat. And I know it's such a cliche ass saying, but as someone who went through like their journey with being with Ladybug, like, I don't know if people noticed this, but when I first started with Ladybug, I barely talked at all. Granted, it was also due to internet issues, but most of the time when I was with Ladybug and everybody else, I barely talked because
You didn't. Yeah, you're right.
Because I felt like my perspectives and visions and stuff, was it gonna matter? Because like I said, I was still in that mindset of like, I'm like a child. I'm literally like but then once I started doing my own thing and how I just started like creating stuff on the fly, because like and it's funny like looking through my stuff, because it's like I really made that. Like, what the fuck? Like, it, like, creativity is such a big tool and weapon of how I go about things. Because, like, imagine just randomly going up and be like, I can't explain it, and I don't know if that is because the caffeine is kicking in, but
it's okay.
I don't know, like I love my brain and the ideas that comes with it, because like I'll get, and I love I love all the mutuals that I have, because like whenever I'd be like, hey, I gotta have a dumb idea and stuff, they'll like in the comments they'll be like, I love how your brain is like, hey, let's have an idea and let's execute it. And I'm like, oh my God, yes.
Yeah. And you know how I feel? I feel like I hate when you say dumb idea, because they're not dumb. They're not dumb. You know how I feel about that. Your ideas are great. So don't say that. There's no such thing as a dumb idea. At least not over here. Not
yeah.
I can't speak for other, leave that alone. But you don't have dumb ideas. But I'm going to wrap it up with this, because I'm going to ask everybody this from the cipher. Finish this sentence. They tried to silence me, but.
They tried to silence me, but I came back louder, bitch.
Okay. Oh, this is going to be funny. Okay. Thanks, Jay. And Jay, tell us where we can find you and all your content.
Yes. Okay. So I haven't been on Twitch a lot given how everything's been going this semester, but I do have a Twitch and TikTok and Twitter that you can find me at FireJSwisher. Like I have my little bar thingy down here, and I have a YouTube channel for my Twitch at FireJSwisher VODs, VODS. That's all caps, and that's where I have like a channel where it's just like all the past Twitch streams that I've done so far. And honestly, I want to get back to streaming again when I have free time on my hands. I don't necessarily post a lot of wrestling content on there, given how that account and the fact that it's linked to my Facebook is more family oriented. So I try not to post on there too much, but I still post on there. You'll see a birthday post on there in a couple of days. But yeah, that's where you can find me.
Perfect. And then, of course, you can find me on TikTok at Ladybug Let's Wrestling. Our Wrestling Queens Cypher content is on Twitch and Instagram and YouTube at Wrestling Queens Cypher. We're also on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Our regular podcast time will be tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern, 1 Central. And then again, our weekday show will be on Tuesdays at 7:15 Eastern, 6:15 Central. So definitely please like, share, subscribe. And make sure to subscribe to Jay. And if you go on our homepage on YouTube, you can subscribe directly from there too, to her YouTube channel. So definitely thank you for watching.
How you gonna how you gonna love the youngest but don't want to support the young? Like what we doing here, Chad?
See, got called out. But yeah, so thank you to everybody for joining today, and we hope to see you soon. Again, we are the Wrestling Queens Cypher, and we'll see you later, guys. Bye.
Yeah, who run the ring? Who talk that truth?